Pokémon Colosseum has been lying to you this entire time, gamers. That's right. Despite them being on the front cover, Groudon and Kyogre are not available in this game unless you trade them from your GBA copies of Ruby or Sapphire. But why is that? Why are they on the front cover despite actually not being in this game? Well, over the next so many minutes, we'll be diving into the fun lore of this game. Oh, that's you going for the dislike button. I can see you doing that. Well, you've already locked eyes with me, bub. Now it's time to battle. Or as they say on Watersurf's Gaming Hour, it's time to game on, fellas! Yes. Welcome back to another episode of Watersurf's Gaming Hour. We're back to another GameCube game, but this one is the one that you voted for, the audience. It only took forever to get to this point, but the 12th episode in the series is Pokémon Colosseum. Now you may ask, why this one over XD? Yeah, I wasn't asking about that. I was more wondering why you did a parody of Annie Austin in the beginning of this video, despite you already doing a parody of him just before this episode came out. Running out of material much? Wow, okay, rude much? Anyway, I will cover XD eventually, but I wanted to start with the first one, obviously. Now, this Pokemon game was way different than the previous mainline games found on the portable consoles at the time. There are no gym leaders, there are no wild Pokemon, and there is definitely no buff Pokemon? What the hell? God damn, this Charmander is shredded. I'm honestly afraid for you, audience. If he's pulling out these jokes, who knows what comes next, but enough about meta comedy, and let's talk about the game itself. Pokémon Colosseum was released in the US in early 2004, with gamers expecting it to, follow the same suit as the Stadium games from the Nintendo 64. Well, they had the option to battle your Pokemon from your handheld GBA games, but there was a bigger thing attached to this game that is much more crucial and much more memorable than some silly little Game Boy Advance link cable. So you telling me you don't need to use this? You know what? F you, bro. First you ignore Road Trip Shifting Gears in the Road Trip Arcade Edition episode, and now you won't even bother linking Pokemon Ruby to your GameCube? F this f***ing show, man. I'm so f***ing done. Done. What a big ass crybaby, but he's right. I'm sorry if you came to this video expecting me to talk about the Game Boy Advance thing, because I'm not. We'll be covering the big part of this game, and that's the big ol' adventure. Now, what's special about it? Not only was it developed by a non-Pokemon developer, as in former Dragon Quest ones, it was also the first one to do something new with the Pokemon formula. Double battles aren't new, bro. I'm not talking about the double battles, but the fact that this game has shadow Pokemon. The whole gimmick of this game is that you snag the evil Pokemon from the bad guy. Now, you're not supposed to steal people's Pokemon, but this machine on your character's arm lets you get away with it. You know what? I think I'm gonna steal that buff Charmander. I know there's no way a good Pokemon like that can be that swole. Alright, gotta catch them all. I missed. Basically, the plot of this game is that your guy needs to go on an adventure through the Orre Region and find out the source of the bad shadow Pokemon. I'd also like to mention that this game only has the first 3 generations of Pokemon, so apologies to those Gallade fans out there. Sorry, Gallade. Maybe next time. Come on, Great Ninja. Let's get the f*** out of here. Let's just get started with this adventure, okay? With every Pokemon adventure, you start off with naming yourself, and I just named my character after my actual name, and you'll see why in a moment. After that, you get greeted with this badass opening cutscene of your character stealing the snagging machine, and then blowing up this bad guy HQ some more. Dang. No wonder the Pokemon Company doesn't like talking about this game. It's rad as hell, and it's much cooler than riding some weird-ass lizard, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Scarlet and Violet. Hey, Why are you cutting to me? You think I'm gonna do that brain rot lizard meme? You guys aren't even gonna watch that movie when it comes out. Go back to the voiceover guy, bro. The game starts you off at this little rest stop or something. Don't worry about the human-sized bag in the back of that truck or the 2 goons that left. It's time to walk in and watch the news. We have some live breaking news. There was a big explosion today in Castelia City. The feds are ruling it out as another electrode foul play, but it is to be believed that nobody in the Orre region gives a damn because we have absolutely nothing going on. It's like Arizona. Speaking of nothing going on, you just walk into this rest stop bar and talk to people, but as you leave, this guy wants to battle you. Now, you remember how I named myself Joshua in this playthrough? Well, the first time I got this game when it came out, I didn't know about the just joshing you joke, and I thought this guy was clowning on my name when I told him that I didn't want to battle. Just an interesting tidbit that brings nothing of value to this overall episode though. This guy really is just joshing us, huh? Lol, 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 lol. This is the first battle of the game. Every battle in this game is also a double battle, by the way, so get used to it. It's cool that the animations are pretty detailed, even if they did recycle some of the stuff from the Nintendo 64 Stadium games. Anyway, after you beat that guy in the battle, you make your way to the first stop of this plot by going to the next city of Phonak City. This is where you run into those goons again and beat them up with your evolutions. Yeah, don't mess with my buff Eevee again, bro. What? You think I wouldn't have one of these suckers for myself, did ya? You saved the chick who was in the bag, and I named her Poggers because it's funny as hell saying the word Poggers in a game from 2004. She is also a key part of this game's gimmick, as she has this special ability to see these shadow Pokemon. So she ends up traveling with you for the rest of your adventure, just to let you know that, hey, that Mon is a shadow guy or whatever. Oh, Poggers. It's another shadow Pokemon. You go and see the mayor of the city, and he tells you that he'll look into this serious matter about shadow Pokemon despite the, foreshadowing. Why else were all those goons in this specific city? Also, it seemed a little weird that this weird-ass guy walked out of this house specifically. That's not important though, as you run into Team Snag'em, and it turns out you're the guy who was actually part of that team, and he quit because he's a bad guy gone good. Whoa. Dang, I never saw that one coming. Next thing you're gonna tell me is that there's a bunch of goons in the mayor's house. I mean, they are. It's so obvious that the mayor is the bad guy because the bad guys don't just show up in this guy's house for no reason more than once. This is also where you encounter your first shadow Pokemon from one of the goons. Capture that sucker, get the frick out of here, bro. So you can sort of see how the plotline's gonna go. Find out the secrets of the shadow Pokemon origins, and battle all the bad trainers to get to that destination. Now this is where the game really picks up, as the next place is where it all truly begins. After battling one of the colorful goons blocking the exits of the city, you basically find out that you need to go to Pirate Town, as this place has a lot of shadow Pokemon, and that's where they're coming from. But first, we make a pit stop at the Colosseum? That's the Pokemon Colosseum! Roll the credits, we beat the game! No. This is just a construction site that you happen to stop at just to kind of show you what's at the end of this game. Another foreshadowing thing, I guess. Now, make your way over to Pirate Town, where every trainer here has a shadow Pokemon. Like, what the hell? Are these bad mons just like free candy or something? I went into this place and I got a free shadow Pokemon, but let me show you. There is something terribly wrong with my Meowscarada. Why the f does it have massive honkaroos? Oh, yeah, that makes a lot more sense now, actually. I went into the wrong building. And will you stop shaking those things for f***'s sake? God damn it. You are a pass, not a smash. I am sorry. Despite your big honkabarubas. What the hell, man? I'm sorry that you had to see this, viewers. At least you didn't have to edit this video, if you know what I mean. Okay, after doing some battling, you discover that the stadium in this town is giving them all out as a prize, but of course, you can't battle there yet, so you have to talk to some kids behind a bookshelf, and then get a gear to restore electricity to the town, and then, and only then, you can battle the dudes in the Colosseum of this town. Okay, so milk, eggs, butter. Oh, wait. This is my grocery list. I'm sorry, audience. After doing all of this, you end up getting taken to the first of many secret goon hideouts, and this one they let you just, walk right on in. Realizing their mistake, you have to battle every person in this building as you make your way to the top. Oh me, oh man. If you haven't picked up on this yet, there's a lot of battles in this Pokemon game. But that's because there's no wild Pokemon to battle, so these trainers are the only way you can gain XP. But there's also a catch. Shadow Pokemon don't technically gain XP, so that's where the difficulty of this game comes from. Until you can get your Shadow Pokemon's bar all the way down and purify them, you can't really do much with them in terms of leveling up. At least most of the battles in this part of the game have, lower level Mons, so it's not too difficult, but you still have to work with what you got, Alright, I made it to the top. Now it's time to get the big bad guy.
Yeah, the big bad guy's in that cave over there. This was just part of our base.
Come on, man.
Also, did you notice when Shroomish faints in this game? He looks like he's hitting his climax, if you know what I mean.
What the fuck? Working your way through this dank-ass cave, battle some more dinguses, but the correct path will have trainers with Shadowmons. The ones that don't are just filler battles. Then you finally make your way to the big boss room and his dancing sombrero Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Pokemon! yeah! Woo, woo, woo!
Hey, what are you dancing for? Let's battle, bro.
I'm dancing, bro. Can't you see? This is my battling.
It's time to battle Mirror B. He's probably the most memorable bad guy from this game, but honestly, his theme for XD is so much better than Colosseum's. It is a pretty neat fight though, as the Ludicolo are the perfect Pokemon for this dancing bad guy. After beating him, he runs away like a ninja anime character. You learn that Shadow Pokemon can be purified, and you get a Plusle? I don't know how you say that little guy's name, but who cares, he's going in the box because we don't care for this weak ass electric mouse. And yes, I know about the speedrunning tactic with this Pokemon, but I do not care to use it. Okay, so you managed to get through the first part of the game, and now this is where the game really kicks into high gear. You head to this small town that has this big old stone in the middle of the forest, and that apparently has the ability to purify your Shadowmons. But as you know how this game goes and every other game goes, there's trouble here too. Yikes. Alright, let's run through this one more time again. But one more time? Wait, what? So the Goon Squad doesn't want anyone to know about the shadow purification process, so they go to this town but get their asses kicked by yours truly. That's when you discover that you need some sort of flute or something to purify the Shadowmons, but not really, but go to Mount Colosseum anyway.
These goons took over, man! These gooners, and they're gooner man, bro!
Are you guys cringing yet from this idiot's remarks? Okay, well you battle through all these goons, and then get to this big ass buff guy. He is ready to fight you after he pushed over that pipsqueak. He's just mad that I beat up the scrub in the last town. Wait, roll the tape back. His name was Scrub? That's hilarious. So does that make this guy the Scrub Lord? Nah, bro. He's got an Entei. He's gonna kick your ass. And kick my ass he did indeed. My Umbreon was barely hanging on before I snatched up his Entei from him, but it was all worth it because that Entei is just going right into the box. Yeah, as cool as legendaries are, I don't care much for the Johto legendary dogs. Anyway, you beat him, get the Time Flute, go back to the forest, and purify some of your Mons. The Time Flute actually does have this special bonus that lets you, skip having to battle with Pokemon and could come in handy if you need a regular version of a Mon in a pinch. With some more Mons now purified, it's time to continue on this adventure, but first... Alright, it's time to see if this thing can really purify this cursed Mon right here. Oh, thank the goddamn maker, man. I could not keep looking at those.
Bro, what the hell? You just took out the best part. I like staring at those. It's fine though. I'm more of a Gardevoir man myself. Glade, Meowscarada, kill that man.
Hey, remember Pirate Town? Well, there's actually an underground town below it that has the real problems and such. So, you go down there and have to beat up the bad guys. Again. You know, it also doesn't help that 2.5 seconds after you get down there, they know there are spies down in the area, but nobody really cares. Imagine being the bad guy, but not caring if the other bad guys lose. Oh well. Your friend gets captured, so you gotta save him, but you also gotta get into this underground Colosseum. You also gotta go up against the lady on the TV who said you were the spy, and she's probably one of the harder fights in the game. It didn't help that I was a bit underleveled when I went up against her, but it's K though. I stole her sweet coon, lol. She runs away and you gotta fight a gauntlet of goons to get to this train that takes you to the underground portion of their lab. Now we're finally getting somewhere. Think you can get into our lab? Think again, bucko. Heh.
How does that solve anything? Now you're just dead, bro.
Yeah, seriously, that's a great question. These goons run away from you and then blow themselves up. Now that's dedication. Now, you'll never get the secrets. Just kidding. They blew up the way, so now you have to go around, bro. I didn't show that in the script because I thought it was sort of a nothing burger at the time, but you head to this lab because you now have the key or something. And guess what? Work your way through a bunch of lab goons to find the real secrets of the shadow Pokemon. Wow. This is the lab where they actually came from, and you're starting to really understand this lore of this game. Too bad this asshat of a scientist threw the alarm, so now you have to listen to this annoying ass beeping until you beat the big bass of the lab. Okay guys, you have to beat the big bass of the lab. The big boss of the lab.
You may have defeated me, but too bad you didn't expect me to be a little bench and let all my homies know you're here.
No, actually, I expected this, but too bad you're just one of the science guys, and nobody really cares about you, or else they would have, rushed down here to save you from what I'm about to do.
You wouldn't.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, boys, kick his ass because it's funny. I guess you can say now it's time to shadow dab in this shadow lab.
After getting through all of those shenanigans, you get to the final admin of this Gooner gang and battle against him. He's not too difficult, but I did spend way too long trying to capture his dumbass Raikou. Seriously, these legendaries are stubborn as hell. Just get in the damn ball. It's not as bad as this Pokemon later in the game, but I am getting ahead of myself. All I do know is that everybody bullies my poor Espeon. It's not like it's Vaporeon, guys, come on.
If you don't know about the Vaporeon thing, it's probably best you don't look it up.
After you get past the lab, you give all the data to some kid for him to decrypt the true secrets of the shadow Pokemon or something, but that's a post-game thing. It's time for you to actually make your way to the name of the game, aka the Colosseum you saw earlier at that construction site, you stupid.
Hey, now can we roll the credits?
Not yet. This is one of the final gauntlets of the game where you take on former bosses to get some keys in order to get into the actual Colosseum itself. Yep, you fight the Disco Man, the Buff Dude, TV Lady, and the Science Nerd. Now, they would actually still have the Shadow Pokemon if you didn't capture them the first time. It kind of serves as a way to, get a second chance if you didn't nab them the first time.
I guess you can say that I'm a ultra baller. Whoo!
I don't even know what that has to do with anything, but whatever. Remember how I told you about that annoying Pokemon that wouldn't get into the ball? Well, yeah, you do have a run-in with your former Snag'em boss, and you fight his dumbass mustache self. It doesn't help that he has this stupid Skarmory that won't get in the goddamn ball. Like, out of all the Pokemon that I had a hard time capturing in this game, it was this dumbass metal bird.
Yeah, sorry, I guess I'm just a great baller.
After all that nonsense, you make it up to the top where that one shady guy from the beginning of the game is all like, "You gotta prove to me that you can really beat these goons." So that's what I did. I beat his goons. Nothing really special about it. Just to really dunk on this guy, I swept through this team with no problem, and then used my Master Ball on his Metagross. Get dunked on, idiot.
Yeah, it looks like I am the ultimate Pokemon Colosseum champion now, biatch. I meant to do that. Too bad you forgot about me, bro. Who are you again? I mean, you look like my Big Tony character, but I don't know who you are for this video. You don't remember me? I'm the mayor. Well, actually, I'm the big bad guy himself, if you didn't know. What? No, that can't be. Wait, are you serious right now? You don't know who I am? Well, I mean, the Gooner party that was going on at your house was kind of a dead giveaway. Oh yeah, I do love my goons. My goons, I love them so much. I wouldn't trade them for anything in this world. Big Tony loves his goons. Like he loves his theme parks, but that's getting meta for you connected in that, film universe thing. Are we going to battle or not? Oh yeah, we're supposed to battle. I choose you, Pokemon.
So, surprise, surprise. The fat-ass mayor turns into this creepy fat-ass clown. He's evil, bro. So evil that you gotta battle him or something. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was severely underleveled for this fight, and I had to go XP farming to actually win this fight. Like I did a few other Colosseum challenges, and even went up to some of the higher numbers of Mount Colosseum. I was still getting my ass kicked, but luckily, I somehow pulled through and managed to beat that stupid fat-ass clown.
Hey, you may have defeated me, Big Tony, but I won't be back. Oh, shit! I guess nobody comes back from that, huh?
I'm just kidding. That doesn't actually happen in the game. The cops show up and they try to escape, but Ho-Ho comes out of nowhere and blows up this helicopter or whatever. I guess he's going to jail. You know what they say, crime doesn't pay. Or does it? I don't know. It's not like the Pokemon Company even likes talking about these two games. So are they canon? Does any of this really matter? Why the hell are these two legendaries on the cover of the game, but they're not actually in the game?
If you were wondering, it was to sell more copies. Ruby and Sapphire just came out before this game, and it was to capture the hype of those games, especially if you had a GameCube. That's the only reason that these two guys are here. All right, bye. Bye, see you later. Hold on. Oh, it appears there is a bit more game left, so go to the next scene.
The credits roll, and with all typical Pokemon games from this era, there is post-game content. However, since the script is already 9 pages and I didn't really want to dive into the post-game content, I won't be covering it. So, sorry gamers. I will say that the overall goal of this post-game is to capture the remaining Shadow Pokemon scattered throughout the land. You even get to explore the Team Snag'em base, so that's cool I guess. You know what else is cool? And don't say Shadow Shuckle.
You, the viewer, for watching this dumb little episode of my Gaming Hour series. I hope it was this neat little episode, and if not, feel free to call me a big stinky in the comments down below.
Wait, so you're not gonna do like a final joke or something?
No, bro, I'm already joked out in this episode. I mean, I could make jokes about how this game had some real Pokeballs to do some sort of things it did. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna play this one eventually too.
No, I just thought that...
Yeah, bro, I got nothing. The next episode will be Luigi's Mansion because 2 people in my Discord server said so. So, see you next time. Bye-bye!